Are you considering moving to Greenville, South Carolina? Most likely, otherwise you clicked on the wrong video. Here are 10 things that you need to know when moving here. Now, some are real estate related and the others are just good to know. While you're here, make sure you like and subscribe to stay up to date with each of my weekly videos where I seek to enhance your process of moving to Greenville, South Carolina. If you're in the market, I'd love to help you. You can always reach out to me using the contact information available on the screen, and make sure to take the neighborhood quiz in the description below to see which part of Greenville may be best for you. As always, thanks to Harrison Williamson with Cross Country Mortgage for helping bring you this video. If you're in the market to buy a home and you need an excellent mortgage lender, well, let me recommend this guy. Leading us off today, one thing that you need to know about moving to Greenville is that we have two different tax rates here for your property. If you're buying a primary residence, it will be taxed at 4%. If you're buying a secondary residence, it will be taxed at 6%. In order to qualify for that 4% tax rate, you will need to register with the county that it is indeed your primary residence. This is going to save you a lot of money. The difference actually nearly triples the amount that you would pay in annual taxes. Now, I don't claim to be a math savant, and you're probably scratching your head wondering how a 2% difference triples that amount. So let me allow mortgage lender Harrison Williamson to tell you the difference.
So let's look at an example at Reed's wonderful listing out in Greer at 214 East Fairview Avenue. Right now, that property is being assessed with a 6% tax ratio, and annual taxes come out to $2,062. Whereas if that was assessed with a 4% ratio, that would be $1,375 annually. So that would result in a $57 monthly difference in your monthly payment. And if any of this doesn't make sense, leave it to me. I'll help you out. I'll explain further. Call me anytime, 828-406-3684. Thanks.
Now, number two, finding the right place takes time. Oftentimes when people come to visit and search for a home, it is only their first or second time here in Greenville. When buying a home, they want to make sure that they make the right decision for them and are often thorough in seeing homes as well as scoping out different areas. Buying a home can take time, and I want you to be excited with where you end up, and I'm happy to discuss your real estate preferences to ensure that you end up right where you want to be. I look forward to having that conversation with you. Number three, our roads are not spectacular. I recently drove to Atlanta for a Braves game, and I kid you not, right when you hit Georgia, the roads are night and day. I recently went up to Charlotte to go to the airport, and same thing. Now, regarding the roads, I kid you not, like this is my personal experience, there's a route in a road near my house just past the hospital, and I drive by it every day, and each time I always get in the other lane because it's like hitting a speed bump at 30 miles an hour when you drive past it. So our roads, they need some help. Number four, USC is in California. University of South Carolina is in Columbia. If you live here, everybody calls it Carolina though. The funny thing is people in North Carolina call UNC Chapel Hill Carolina as well. So have fun arguing with those Tar Heels as to which one is the real Carolina. Number five, South Carolina is a due diligence state. What that means to you as a buyer is our contract is an as-is contract. You can ask for any repair. However, the seller contractually does not have to agree to any repair. Typically, there's common ground. Now, if you can't come to an agreement during your due diligence period and you decide you no longer want to purchase that home, you can unilaterally terminate that contract for an amount set forth in the purchase agreement. Generally, a good rule of thumb for your termination fee is about $500 per week. So if your due diligence period is 14 days, you're looking at roughly $1,000. Now, depending on the price point of the home, that number is subject to change. Now, I do like to tell people that this number is only payable if you decide to, in fact, terminate your contract. Now, number six is buyer's agency, and due to recent real estate changes as of August 17th, I can no longer show you a home without a signed buyer's agency agreement by you in turn hiring me as your agent. Now, this is not just a South Carolina thing, but rather a national change. Number seven, in Greenville, we enjoy doing the things that one may consider touristy and that initially drew you to Greenville. If you've watched my videos before, you know how much me and my dog Crash love going to the Swamp Rabbit Trail and our parks. Number eight, people here are incredibly friendly and Southern hospitality is a real thing. Let me tell you this, I'll admit that I'm not a particularly well-traveled person. Recently, I was in Chicago and went to a Cubs game. And at the concession stand, I said, "Yes, ma'am." And her response was, "Well, I got cussed out." So safe to say, if she visited Greenville, she would be in culture shock. So note to self, if you go to the Midwest or up north, maybe don't say ma'am. That one's on me, I reckon. But I was just trying to be polite. So number 9 is people often misconstrue moving to South Carolina as if they're moving to a widely rural state where everyone owns land, wears a cowboy hat, and has a skull ring in their back pocket. Now, oftentimes, as prospective buyers search, it may begin with, "I want at least an acre of land and I want some chickens in my yard." Hey, if that's the case, that's totally fine. Oftentimes, they come to realize that they have found a home in the city with neighbors that are a little bit closer by, and they love it. Now, the nice thing is we have both, so take your pick. Number 10, if you're looking for a private school for your kids, I cannot think of one private school that is not affiliated with a church. After all, we are here in the South, but I think that covers some really good information, guys, and I had fun doing it. So if you're in the market to move to Greenville, South Carolina, I would love to have the opportunity to work together. Use the contact information provided on the screen, and I look forward to connecting with you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.